Hello friends, welcome to this YouTube video channel. I Dr. Niradhar De, faculty member, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Welcome to you to this video lesson. Today we are going to discuss one of the very important topic, that is research problem, delimitation and operational definitions of the terms used in your research. So friends, in my earlier program, we have discussed about research proposal. This is specially for the learners, for the students who are presently pursuing the second year of MA education program of Indira Gandhi National Open University. In the second year, you supposed to pursue one dissertation course. Course code is MESP001 and course title is dissertation. So in this course, I have already discussed in my earlier program that you have to do two important things. First is you have to prepare a research proposal. Then, after getting the approval of the research proposal, you have to carry on your research work. You have to implement that proposal in the field. You have to do a piece of research. Then after, you have to write the report of the dissertation, means the research that you conducted, you have to prepare the report, and further you have to submit that report at the concerned regional center. And in my earlier program, I have discussed the detailed components and the detailed steps that you're supposed to follow for preparing the research proposal. And I had committed that every component, further I will discuss the every component. So today I have started discussion on this component, that is research problem, how you will select a research problem, what are the different sources that you have to use, then further how you can delimit your research problem, your study, and further how you can define operationally the new terms, the new words, the new concept that you have addressed in your research title. So friends, let us go forward to discuss today's component of the research proposal, that is research problem, delimitation and operational definitions. So friends, I have received many queries, many questions from the learners that they are asking, sir, please discuss at least in one session that how we can select a research problem, from where you will get the topic for pursuing your dissertation work. So that's why, keeping in consideration of your request, at the same time for providing you a type of support, because now pandemic situation is going on across the country, and you might be facing difficulties to come to your study center, come contact to your dissertation supervisor, at the same time to come contact at the concerned regional center. So that's why, being the co-coordinator of MA education program, I'm just discussing these issues, and I'm hopeful that this video lesson will help you a lot for conceptualizing and preparing your research proposal. So friends, let us move forward to discuss about the specific issues that has been addressed in this topic. So before discussing the topics that today we have selected, let me to say that two important documents we have developed. This is for your support, okay, for doing your dissertation work. We have developed, first of all, one theory course, that is MES 016 educational research. You have already studied in the first year of your MA education program. You will get a detailed theoretical understanding about conducting the research, educational research, that how you will select a problem, how you will write the review of related literature, then how you will write the objectives, how you can state the hypothesis, then how you will collect data. For collecting data, how you will prepare the tool how you will write the items, how can you do the try out of the tools that you have prepared. Okay, and at the same time, sampling also, how you can do sampling, and what methods you supposed to use for conducting your study, and further what statistical techniques that you will use for analyzing the data. So friends, these are the theoretical construct that you will study from this course MES 016, that is educational research. I am hopeful that you might have gone through this beautiful course, and you must have understood the important concept and important points that you're supposed to use in your dissertation work. Then further, we have also developed another document that is the handbook on dissertation work. Okay, this is available both the theory courses as well as this handbook. It is available in eGyan course portal of Indira Gandhi National Open University, and you have I think you have received the hard copy of the courses, our self-learning material, and at the same time the soft copy is also available in the eGyan course portal. In case you have not received, so I request all of you, please go through the IGNOU eGyan course portal. From there you will get these two documents. One is the handbook on dissertation work, and other is the course MES 016, the theoretical course that we have studied in the first year, that is educational research. In the handbook of dissertation work, you will find whatever I am going to discuss, or the proposal that you have to prepare. You will find the detailed components of the proposal, the concept of different components of this proposal. Then we have also discussed taking few illustrations, taking few examples. We have taken a title, and according to that title, how you can prepare the research proposal, that also we have discussed. So my earnest request to all our learner, to all our students, to go through these two documents, so that it will very much helpful, and you will feel very easy for pursuing this dissertation course. So let us go forward. In my earlier program, I have discussed about the components of a research proposal. Okay, so when you will prepare a research proposal, what are the different steps, and what are the different components are there, so that you have to include it in your research proposal. First of all, the first component or the first step, that is title of the research problem. You have to select a research problem. Okay, so today we will discuss detail about the research problem, how you will select the research problem. Okay, so what are the sources that you supposed to follow, what are the different criteria are there for selecting the research problem. So this is the first step. Then further, I have already discussed in my earlier video lesson that that is the second component for preparing the research proposal, that is introduction. So here you have to develop a detailed theoretical construct of the variables and the concept that you have used in your study. Okay, so the context and justification you are supposed to write in the introduction part of the research proposal. And further, delimitation of the study is also another important aspect, another important component. In this component, you have to delimit, you have to develop, or you have to bring a fence of the study that you are going to conduct. So here you see, research problems are, you can say, vast in nature and very broad in nature. It is not possible to conduct a very vast study within a stipulated period of time. Okay, so that's why there is the provision provision in conducting research in educational research, that you can delimit your study. So here today we'll discuss how can you delimit your study. So what are the different criteria, what are the different bases, what are the different procedures that you have to follow, so that you can properly delimit your study. आपका जो समस्या, शोध समस्या आप लिए हैं, उसे आप सीमांकन कैसे आप करेंगे, ठीक है, एक फेंस आप दे देंगे, एक सीमा आप दे देंगे, उसी सीमा अंतर्गत रहकर आप आपका शोध कार्य करेंगे. Then further, another important component, that is review of related literature. Okay, I have already said that when you will conduct a study, first of all, you should know the status of this problem, that how many studies have earlier conducted and what are the findings of it, what methodology they have used, the researchers who has conducted the study earlier. So from there you will get a type of information, a type of knowledge, a type of understanding that how you can conceptualize your study, what are the new things you have to incorporate in your study. Okay, so when you will analyze the review of related literature, जो शोध कार्य पहले हो चुका है, जब उसे जब एनालिसिस आप करेंगे, आपका एनालिसिस से एक गैप आपको नजर आएगा. यू विल डेफिनेटली फाइंड आउट ए गैप that what has not been done. Okay, so your attempt, being a researcher, your attempt will be to bridge that gap. Okay, so that's why analyzing review of related literature, the main aim of analyzing the review of related literature is to find out the gap, and your research supposed to fill that gap. There should be certain newness, certain innovativeness of your research. Okay, so this is another component. Then further, next component is need and importance or rationale of the study. So here you have to establish the need and importance of the study. Let many studies have been conducted. Why you are again going to do the study? What is the justification for conducting this study? Okay, what is the need and importance for conducting this study? So this is also another important component. Then further, research questions, objectives and hypotheses, these are also another step and component. As a researcher, when you are going to conduct a study, certain research questions might be in your mind, and your attempt should be to find out the answer of these questions, of these research questions जो आपके मन में है. ठीक है, आप एक रिसर्चर है, शोध कार्य बिना कुछ प्रश्न में नहीं होता है, जरूर कुछ प्रश्न आपके मन में है, तो उसी प्रश्न का उत्तर आप ढूंढना चाहते हैं. देन हाउ विल फाइंड the answer these questions? By conducting a detailed study. Okay, by adopting a detailed process for conducting the study, you will find out the answer or the findings of the research. So that is the answer of your question, research question. Then on the basis of the research question, what you have to do, you have to state certain objectives. Okay, and on the basis of the objectives, you can state the hypothesis. I have already discussed in my earlier program, so detail I am not discussing. Hypothesis, I will take another session to discuss that how can you state the hypothesis, and in what type of study there is the need of stating hypothesis, and in what type of study without a hypothesis you can also conduct your study. That we will discuss when I will take the session on hypothesis. And further, operational definitions of the terms used. Today also we will discuss. This is one of the three important concept I have taken. First is the research problem, then second is the delimitation of the study, and third is operational definitions of the term used. So operational definitions of the terms used, the new terms, the new concept, new words, technical terms that you have used in your research title. So there is the need to define it operationally. That means in what way those the new terms that you have mentioned in the title will functionally use or operationally use in your study, that you have to define. So further we will discuss these three concepts I have taken today for discussion. Then research methodology, I have already said in my earlier study, and further I will also take a few sessions on research methodology. Here we will discuss that what particular research method you have to use for conduct your study. Okay, आप एक्सपेरिमेंटल रिसर्च मेथड यूज करेंगे, या फिलोसॉफिकल मेथड यूज करेंगे, या हिस्टोरिकल मेथड यूज करेंगे, या सर्वे मेथड यूज करेंगे. ओके, whether it is a descriptive survey method, an experimental study method, or a philosophical method, or a historical method. So here the particular method you have to select, keeping in consideration the nature of the problem that you have selected. Then further, under this research methodology, the detailed design of the study will also come. Just like you have to define the population, then further you have to define the sample and how you will select the sample from the population. How can you justify that the sample that you have selected is a representative sample? What techniques and methods you will adopt for selecting the sample? I will discuss in another session. about the sample and population. And further, the tools and techniques used for data collection. Okay, so here for conducting the study you require certain data. Then how you will select the data? For getting the data you have to use certain tools. Either you have to prepare the tool or you have to use the standardized tool which is already available. And if you have to prepare a tool, how you will prepare the tool, what are the process of preparing the tool, and how can you develop the reliability validity index of the tool, how you can try out a tool, how can you administer a tool. So that also will discuss in our next program. But here keep in your mind that research methodology includes the particular research method, design of the study, it includes population and sample, tools used for data collection, may be a questionnaire, may be interview, may be observation, or other types of tools also. Then further, statistical techniques used for data analysis. So what statistics you have to use for analyzing the data? Let your study is quantitative study. Okay, so for quantitative study means you will get data in terms of numbers, okay, in terms of frequencies. So if you are getting data in terms of numbers, in terms of frequencies, then how can you analyze the data? How, what statistical techniques? It may be mean, it may be standard deviation, it may be correlation, it may be a t-test, it may be a chi-square test, it may be ANOVA. So friends, whatever statistics you have to use, may be a descriptive statistics or inferential statistics, you have to mention here in the research proposal. Further we will discuss detail. Then data analysis and interpretation is also another important component of preparing the research proposal. So here you have to write the detailed procedure and the detailed process that you have to follow for analyzing the data. Okay, the data that you have received. And the next component, that is educational implications. As you are going to conduct a study in the discipline of education, in the theme of education, as you are a master student of education, so that's why there must be certain educational implications of your study. That means your study will help, in what way your study will help to the larger society, or you can say to the school, to the teachers, to the students, to the administrator, to the leaders in the school. Okay, so that's why even if to the parents, to the community. Okay, so that's why the study that you are going to conduct, that your study should have certain educational implications. Okay, उसका शैक्षिक महत्व क्या है, ठीक है, यहाँ आप किस रूप में आप जो फाइंडिंग्स आपको मिलेगा वो समाज के ऊपर, शिक्षक के ऊपर, विद्यार्थियों के ऊपर, पेरेंट्स के ऊपर, कम्युनिटी के ऊपर, ठीक है, कैसे उसे यूज किया जा सकता है फॉर सॉल्विंग डिफरेंट एजुकेशनल इशूज दैट यू हैव टू मेंशन. Then further, the last component is references. You have to develop a suitable, you have to develop a section of reference. That means for preparing the research proposal, the sources that you have used, you have to list it. Okay, as per the APA style. Okay, APA style, American Psychological Association, the style of APA for writing the references that you have to follow. It may be a book, it may be a journal, it may be an encyclopedia, it may be a dictionary, it may be a newspaper. Okay, it may be a PhD thesis, it may be any dissertation, it may be an article. So how to write of all the resources that you have used for conducting your study? You have to prepare a section of the references. So friends, these are the components that you have to follow, that you have to use for preparing your research proposal. Next, now we'll discuss about our important aspect, that research problem. How can you select a research problem? Then further, how operationally you have to define the new terms that you have used in the title. Then further, the next important aspect, that is the delimitation of the study. How can you delimit the study? आपका जो अध्ययन है, आपका अध्ययन को, आपका शोध कार्य को सीमांकन आप कैसे करें, ये तीनों महत्वपूर्ण बिंदु के ऊपर आज हमारा चर्चा होगा. So friends, now let us focus upon the research problem. Okay, this is the first aspect. A research problem is a specific issue, unsolved problem, difficulty, contradiction, or gap in knowledge that you want to address in your research. Okay, a research problem is a specific issue. So, friends, you might be a teacher, or I think you are involved in the system of education. Okay, you might be facing certain specific issues in education. Okay, it may be in pedagogy, in teaching learning process. Okay, so how to teach different subjects. It may be school administration and management. It may be guidance and counseling. It may be how to address the learners or the students of differently able. Okay, means problems may be different. So and how to use measure the concept of measurement and evaluation in education. It may be continuous assessment, it may be term and examination. So that's why many specific issues are there in education. So a problem is, this is a specific issue which is not solved, that is unsolved problem. That problem is still exist, and that's why you are going to conduct a study. So that's why this is called as a research problem. That means the problem is still exist, and by conducting a study you will find out the solution of the problem. Okay, your findings will say that these were the issues earlier, these were the unsolved problem, and you have suggested the solution of the problem on the basis of the findings that you have received from your study. Okay, then you can say contradiction. A research problem is a type of contradiction. It means when you will analyze the review of related literature, you will find that the findings of researchers are different. Some are the findings of few researchers are going in one direction, whereas the findings of other researchers conducted by other researchers, they are going in other direction. Means there is the contradiction of the findings of the research. It means that problem is not solved, because unanimously, universally, they are not reaching at a point that this is the exact or the right solution of the problem. So that's why when there is a contradiction, you can say that that is the gap. So there is the gap. So what you have to do, you have to fill that gap. Okay, or the gap in knowledge. That means you have not solved that problem, you have not reached at the exact knowledge, you can say. So that's why there is the need of conducting a problem. So the unsolved problem, contradiction, and gap in knowledge that you want to address in your research. So that's why we call this is the research problem. Then further, let us try to discuss that how to select a research problem. Okay, तो बीइंग ए रिसर्चर आप कैसे, आप मुझे प्रश्न पूछते हैं, सर एक रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम, वी आर द मास्टर स्टूडेंट, एक रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम हम कैसे सिलेक्ट करेंगे? ओके, क्या क्राइटेरिया है, कौन से क्राइटेरिया फॉलो करके हम एक रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम सिलेक्ट करें? सो फ्रेंड्स, you see, first I will say, being a researcher, the first criteria, that is researcher's own experience. You become the researcher, you have gone through the review of related literature, you have gone through to know the theoretical construct, the theoretical you can say the principles and the theoretical base of the variables that you have selected for your study. So that's why your own experience will also one of the source for selecting a problem, one of the criteria for selecting a problem. Many a time you might be observing or experiencing such things, that yes, this is the problem that I have been. If you are a teacher, you might have observed such things when you are teaching the students. Okay, may be related to evaluation, may be related to any pedagogy, may be related to any activity, or may be related to, nowadays we are using the constructivist approach of teaching learning process. So when you are using the constructivist approach of teaching learning process, what difficulties you are facing? Okay, so I'm just giving certain example, but you can select a problem keeping in your own, keeping in consideration of your own experiences that you have earlier gained, that you have observed from the field, from the society, from the school system. Okay, then further, from the professional literature, I have already said that For conducting a study, you're supposed to analyze the review of related literature, means the studies that have already been conducted. So when you will go through and when you will study the researches that has been already conducted, from there you will find many inputs, many understanding, that how can you conceptualize your study, and what are the different problems that still exist, and taking that problems you can conduct your study. Then further, observed issues in the society in a different context, being a part and person of this society, being you are the part of this society, of this community. You might have experienced many things. Okay, you are coming contact with the parents, you are coming contact with the family members, you are coming contact with the community members. So that's why from there also you can take out, you can select certain problem for conducting your dissertation work. Then further, peer and expert interactions. Okay, subject expert interactions, many a time what you are doing, you are just discussing among your friends, within the groups, within your classmates, within your colleagues. Okay, and what you are doing, you are also taking expert judgment, expert, when you are establishing interaction with the experts. So many a time they are also providing certain suggestions. They are saying that yes, these are the certain important areas, and you can conduct a study on these areas. So from there also you can select a problem. Then brainstorming, many a time, being a researcher, you should involved in brainstorming, you should involved in critical thinking. So when you will establish a type of thinking, when you will engage yourself in thinking, then definitely you will find out a way forward, that what research problem you supposed to select for conducting your study. Then further, from the process of theorization of knowledge, many a time when we are going through a theory, a developed theory which is earlier developed, from there also you are getting certain input, that how further you can how can you carry on this study further. Okay, so from there also you can conduct a study, you can select a problem for conducting the study from the theory itself. What new things that you are going to include in the theory. No theory is absolute, friends. Okay, so there is the chance, जो सिद्धांत डेवलप किया गया है, तो इसमें there is every chance that at any time that theory may be modified, that theory may be developed, many add-ons may be carrying out in that theory. So that's why, friends, when you are studying the theoretical base, studying different theories, from there also you can select a problem. Then introduction of new and innovative practices in different areas. Okay, so many a time you see in education what we are doing, we are practicing new things, we are practicing new methods, we are practicing new media, we are practicing new techniques, new strategies. Okay, so far as the development of science and technology is concerned, so far as in the changing nature of knowledge is concerned in the society. So that's why the innovative practices in different areas, especially when we are talking about education, it means in the schooling, it may it means within the stakeholders of the schooling. So you will find that many such new practices we are doing. Okay, so that's why from there also you can select a problem. Okay, so friends, these are the certain criteria, by basing upon this you can select a research problem. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। थोड़ा और गहराई से इसे समझने के लिए हम कोशिश करते हैं। तो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट हमारा है सोर्सेस ऑफ ए रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम। सो क्या सोर्सेस आप यूज करेंगे जहां से आपको रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम मिलेगा, प्रॉब्लम का कुछ एक कंसेप्ट आपको मिलेगा। तो फ्रेंड्स, मुझे लेट मी टू से दैट दिस इज somehow related with the review of related literature. Okay, you see, when you will study the review of related literature, you will find a detailed idea, you will develop a type of concept, that how you will conduct this study. Okay, how you will conceptualize, how you will prepare, how you will design your study. So that's why when you will go through the review of related literature, another window also open, that you will go through different types of studies, and from there you will find a new study, a new title, a new problem for conducting your study. Just like here you see, These are the sources that you can follow. One is the journal. Okay, in journal you will find many educational articles. So when you will go through the educational articles, you will find many research problems. Then PhD thesis, the thesis that has already been submitted and awarded and which is available in the library. आजकल वो शोध गंगा जो साइट है उसमें you will find many published research thesis are there, so you can also go through the PhD thesis. Then encyclopedia, you will find new knowledge base, new ideas from the encyclopedia for selecting a problem. Then web based information, WBI, nowadays highly we are using the web based information. Okay, we get optimum information maybe in terms of open educational resources where it may be in terms of MOOCs, massive open online courses. Okay, and maybe in terms of ebooks, e-journals. Okay, so when you will go through web-based information, you will find ocean of information, ocean of data. Okay, so that's why that is also another source for selecting your problem. Then further we can say survey of research in education. In NCERT, you will find that up to sixth survey, the document, the survey report is available. So that also you can study. And in different universities also you will find that the survey of research in education that they have published and that has been kept in library, and in the internet also you can access it. Then theory which has developed earlier. Okay, so by analyzing the theory is itself a source for selecting a problem. Then further, courses studied in a program. So friends, now you are master student, you are pursuing your MA education program. Okay, you have already completed the courses of first year. You have studied 6 different theory courses in the first year, and at present you are studying one of the specialized area in second year also. So that's why the courses that you have studied in your master program, you can also select a problem from there for your study. Okay, may be related to philosophy, may be related to history of Indian education, may be related to curriculum studies, may be related to teacher education, may be related to measurement and evaluation, and other aspects also, higher education, distance education, educational technology, adult education. So many areas are there. So friends, the courses that you have studied in your master program, from there also you can select a problem. Then further, government policy and report, you will find that many government policies, it may be, you can say, Right to Education Act, it may be now recently, the NEP 2020, it is in public domain now. The document is public domain, National Education Policy 2020, it is in the website of Ministry of Education. Okay, so Government of India. So what you have to do, if you will go through the chapters, the 6 different chapters of NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, that's a document. From there also you can select a problem for your study. And I request all our learners, please go through these beautiful documents, and from there definitely you will get certain concept for conceptualizing your study. Then National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, and many other documents you will find which is available in internet in different government website. Okay, and also you will find it in different libraries, the policy reports and documents. Then further, committees and commissions, the report of different committees and commissions. Just like I was just giving the example of NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, then accordingly you will find the documents available online. That is, you can say NPE 1986, National Policy on Education 1986, then University Education Commission, Secondary Education Commission, Kothari Commission. Okay, so these are the policies, the document of these policies, document of these educational commissions are available. So you can also go through it. From there you can find out certain research problem. Then general culture and experience. As a researcher, you have certain experience. Our culture, our custom, our tradition, our rituals, okay, and how we live, our living style, okay, our interpersonal relations, our cultural relations with other group of people. Okay, so that's why our general culture, at the same time the experience that we have gained from our family, from the immediate society where we live in, okay, from the immediate environment, from the school. We also get experience from school, from education. So all these things will provide you a base for selecting a research problem. At the same time, newspaper and other media also. So friends, these are the certain sources that you can follow for selecting a research problem. Let us go forward. Then further, many a time, you must have heard that identification versus selection of a research problem. Many a time we use synonymously these two terms. One is the identification and the other is the selection. You will find that few researchers, they are writing identification of a research problem and others are writing selection of a research problem. So what is the right? You should know. Being the master student of education, you should know where to use the term identification and where to use the term selection. So here you see identification is used when the areas are heterogeneous in nature. Okay, identification of area. We can't say that identification of problem. Identification of an area. So here areas are heterogeneous in nature, just like different areas of study in a discipline. Here, if we'll talk about the discipline of education, different areas that you have studied, let distance education is one area, educational measurement and evaluation is another area, teacher education is another area. Okay, then curriculum studies is another area, guidance and counseling is another area, educational technology is another area. Okay, adult education is another area, higher education is another area, educational philosophy is another area, educational psychology is another area. So for history of Indian education, the educational development in the country, that is also another area. Okay, so friends, I have here taken the name of many areas in education, and you'll find that all these areas are heterogeneous in nature. In history of Indian education, it deals about development of education in a country. But when we talk about educational technology, it includes information communication technology, it includes hardware, it includes software, it includes programming. So here you see the concept of educational philosophy, the concept of history of Indian education, concept of adult education, concept of different education, distance educations are different, and that is within the broad discipline of education. These are the branches. These are the branches that works under the umbrella of education as a discipline. So that's why, friends, when we talk about identification, it is related with the area. So what you have to do as a study, as a student of education, as a researcher, you have to select, you have to identify one area first. Let you identified one area, that is psychology. You want to conduct your study on educational psychology. Okay, so you have to identify the area among different areas of education. One area you have to identify, because all areas are heterogeneous. So when the things are homogeneous, then you can select, and when the things are not homogeneous, you cannot select. You can first identify one area, and after identifying one area, then you have to go for a rigorous study, rigorous understanding. You have to understand that what are the different themes, what are the different topics, what are the different issues are there in that area. Let here it is educational psychology. So what are the different themes and issues are there in educational psychology, so that you can select a problem, you can select a topic for your study. So that's why in the second category, second criteria here, selection of a research problem, when the problems or themes are homogeneous in nature. Here it is not heterogeneous, it is homogeneous, because we are talking here the themes. Under educational psychology, the themes may be motivation, may be intelligence, may be creativity, may be self concept, may be achievement, may be personality. Okay, so here you are getting all these variables or all these concepts are you can say homogeneous in nature, and among these variables or among these themes under one area, you can select a problem. Let you are interested to conduct a study on the variable of creativity, on the issues relating to creativity of the students, attitude of the teachers or attitude of the students on for certain aspect, for certain for certain problems, certain issues. Okay, so that's why here, when the problems are homogeneous within one area, then you can select a problem, that is different themes, topic studied in an area of a discipline. ओके जो जो टॉपिक एक डिसिप्लिन में या एक थीम के अंदर एक एरिया में आप पढ़ रहे हैं. सो स्टूडेंट्स प्लीज कीप इन योर माइंड that the term where you have to use identification and where you have to use selection. Identification you have to use for identifying the area, and selection you have to use the term selection when the problems and when the themes are homogeneous in nature. That means where after selecting the area, after identifying the area. So friends, let us go forward. Next, we'll discuss that need of selecting a research problem. So what are the needs of selecting a research problem? ठीक है, एक रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम हम कहाँ हम सिलेक्ट करें, कहाँ इसका आवश्यकता है स्टडी करने का और कहाँ आवश्यकता नहीं है. मैं 4 क्राइटेरिया यहाँ रखा हूँ, 4 सिचुएशन मैंने दिया हूँ. फर्स्ट सिचुएशन है, इफ नो रिसर्च हैज बीन कंडक्टेड, that is for filling the gap there is the need of conducting a research. If no research has been conducted, have been conducted, okay, कोई भी रिसर्च नहीं किया एक थीम के ऊपर, that is exactly a new theme, okay, a new theme, उसके ऊपर स्टडी करेंगे, because there is already the scope, as the area is new, then there is the need for conducting a study. Second, if few research has been conducted, there is the need of conducting more research here. Okay, let in an area few researches have been conducted, so still there is the scope, because much research have not been conducted, so there is the need for conducting further research. So that's why you can also conduct a study, there is the need. In third criteria, you see, a large number of research has been conducted, and if there is common findings, then no need of conducting more research. Large number of studies, hundreds of studies, 500 of studies have been conducted in one area, and there is common findings. Okay, among these researchers there is unanimous, or you can say there is consensus about the findings, there is the agreement about the findings. It means the problem is not existing now. Okay, this is not an unsolved problem, that problem has been already solved, because many researches have been conducted, and all the researchers are just pointing out a particular type of a similar type of findings. So that's why there is no need of any other research. So here आपको उसी टॉपिक लेकर शोध करने का जरूरत नहीं है. Further, in the fourth situation, here you see a large number of research have been conducted, and if there is inconsistency of result, then there is the need of research. Large number of studies have been conducted, बट जब आप फाइंडिंग्स को जाते हैं, कुछ रिसर्चर कहते हैं उनका फाइंडिंग्स एक प्रकार का है, और अनदर रिसर्चर्स देयर फाइंडिंग्स आर डिफरेंट, अलग डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो मीन्स हम कहेंगे जो प्रॉब्लम है, ये प्रॉब्लम अभी तक सॉल्व नहीं हुआ है, क्योंकि यूनानिमसली फाइंडिंग्स, सिमिलर फाइंडिंग्स नहीं आ रहा है. दो मैनी रिसर्चेस हैव बीन कंडक्टेड, because still then there is no unanimous, there is no similarities among the findings of the study. So that's why there is the scope for conducting the study. So these are the need of selecting a research problem, that where to conduct a study and what type of topic you supposed to select and what type of topic you shouldn't select. So friends, let us go forward. Further we'll discuss about title of research problem. जो रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम है उसका टाइटल आप लिखें कैसे. ओके, अब देखिए कुछ पॉइंट्स मैंने लिया. ए टाइटल शुड नॉट बी सो ब्रॉड और सो स्पेसिफिक, बट ए रिसर्च टाइटल में बी रिटन इन ए नैरो फॉर्म. सो टाइटल शुड नॉट बी सो ब्रॉड और सो स्पेसिफिक. ओके, इट शुड बी रिटन इन ए research form, it should be researchable. Okay, further it may be written in a statement form. So when you write a research title, we write it in a research form, in a statement form. We'll discuss with example जब बाद में हम डिस्कशन करेंगे टाइटल का. Then redundant words should not be used in the title. टाइटल में ऐसे कुछ वर्ड हम यूज नहीं करेंगे जिसका मीनिंग एक द्व्यर्थपूर्ण मीनिंग होगा, एक डुअल मीनिंग होगा और पर्टिकुलर एक स्पेसिफिक मीनिंग नहीं होगा. रिसर्च इज ए वेरी systematic and scientific work, so that's why the terms and the words that we'll use, it should have a definite specific meaning, operational meaning. So redundant words should not be used. And further, one may put inverted commas in the title but not necessarily. हम क्या करते हैं, टाइटल लिख के इन्वर्टेड कॉमास में रख लेते हैं. आप रख सकते हैं पर जरूरी नहीं है. Then the fifth point is important here. An appropriate title should be covered the necessary three information. एक अच्छा टाइटल, एक अप्रोप्रिएट टाइटल, ए सुइटेबल रिसर्च टाइटल 3 इंफॉर्मेशन देता है. इट मीन्स when you will study, when you will go through the research title, you will find out 3 information. One is variable and the variables. What are the different variables have been used in the study? Then about idea about population and area. You are going to study in what area, what is the population. Then third is type of research. What type of research it is, whether it is a survey types of research, is an experimental research, is a type of philosophical research और हिस्टोरिकल रिसर्च. सो फ्रेंड्स, ये 3 पॉइंट जो है बिल्कुल अपने ध्यान में रख लीजिए, अपने मन में रख लीजिए, अपने दिमाग में रख लीजिए. जो टाइटल आप लिखते हैं, आप देखेंगे आपका टाइटल से वेरिएबल के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन आता है कि नहीं आता, पॉपुलेशन और एरिया को डिफाइन आप किया कि नहीं किया टाइटल में, एंड टाइप ऑफ रिसर्च. टाइटल पढ़ के हमें एक आइडिया मिलता है कि नहीं कि कौन से रिसर्च मेथड इसमें यूज हुआ है. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. नेक्स्ट, एग्जाम्पल ऑफ रिसर्च टाइटल्स. आई हैव गिवन 4 examples of research title. Further, I will say that whether these titles are appropriate title or not, and if it is appropriate title, it is for what type of research. First title है comparison of creativity of males and females of class 11th of India. कंपैरिजन ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल ऑफ क्लास 11 में. पूरा इंडिया, मेरा पॉपुलेशन है पूरा इंडिया. ठीक है, इधर आप देखिए क्रिएटिविटी एक वेरिएबल है. 3 टर्म मुझे 3 आइडिया मुझे मिलना चाहिए. फर्स्ट इंफॉर्मेशन क्रिएटिविटी, सेकेंड इंफॉर्मेशन मुझे मिल गया कंपैरिजन. इट विल बी ए सर्वे टाइप्स ऑफ रिसर्च, वी हैव टू कंपेयर द थिंग्स. देन थर्ड पॉपुलेशन हो गया, द एरिया हो गया, द होल इंडिया, द एंटायर इंडिया, अक्रॉस इंडिया. ठीक है, ये एक ब्रॉड स्टडी है, मतलब इट इज एन अप्रोप्रिएट टाइटल. सेकेंड, कंपैरिजन ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी ऑफ मेल्स एंड फीमेल्स ऑफ क्लास 11 ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़. Let Chhattisgarh is a state, is a small state. You can take the example of Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, West Bengal, Odisha, or any state, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. Comparison, this is also a survey types of research. रिसर्च मेथड के बारे में पता चल रहा है, इंफॉर्मेशन हमें मिल रहा है. क्रिएटिविटी यूज हुआ है वेरिएबल. देन अदर वेरिएबल मेल्स एंड फीमेल्स भी आप इसमें इंक्लूड किए हैं. एंड क्लास 11th ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़. एरिया, यहाँ एक स्टेट है छत्तीसगढ़ इन इंडिया. ओके, दिस इज ऑल्सो एन अप्रोप्रिएट टाइटल. थर्ड में कहूंगा कंपैरिजन ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी ऑफ मेल्स एंड फीमेल्स ऑफ क्लास 11 ऑफ बिलासपुर छत्तीसगढ़. तो सेकेंड टाइटल में हम सिर्फ स्टेट लिया, थर्ड टाइटल में छत्तीसगढ़ स्टेट का एक सिटी हमने ले लिया या एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट हम ले लिया, दैट इज बिलासपुर छत्तीसगढ़. ये भी एरिया स्पेसिफाई हुआ, वेरिएबल स्पेसिफाई हुआ, और ये भी एक सर्वे टाइप्स ऑफ रिसर्च. सो ये भी अप्रोप्रिएट टाइटल है. फोर्थ, कंपैरिजन ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल ऑफ क्लास 11 ऑफ सेंट पॉल स्कूल बिलासपुर. इधर आप देखिए बिलासपुर मैंने लिया, बिलासपुर में पर्टिकुलर एक स्कूल लिया, दैट इज सेंट पॉल स्कूल. सेंट पॉल स्कूल में जो 11th स्टैंडर्ड के स्टूडेंट है उनका क्रिएटिविटी हम अध्ययन करेंगे, हम स्टडी करेंगे. ठीक है, कंपेयर करेंगे मेल एंड फीमेल का. ये बहुत स्पेसिफिक हो गया. सो व्हाट आई मीन टू से, फर्दर विल एनालाइज दिस 4 टाइटल्स. ये जो 4 टाइटल मैंने डिस्कशन किया, कुछ टाइटल बहुत ब्रॉड है और कुछ टाइटल बहुत यू कैन से वेरी नैरो और वेरी स्पेसिफिक. तो हम देखेंगे किस प्रकार स्टडी के लिए कौन सा टाइटल अप्रोप्रिएट है. आगे बढ़ते हैं. आप देखिए फर्स्ट टाइटल में 3 इंफॉर्मेशन आ रहा है. वी आर गेटिंग ए सुइटेबल रिसर्च टाइटल. फर्स्ट टाइटल we are getting 3 information, variable, population and type of research, but that is very broad. that is on India. We are going to study on India. So that's why this is suitable for a project work, a type of project work, because your population is whole India. You cannot study a dissertation taking the population of India, because the population is very large, huge. Then in second title, three information we are getting idea about variable, population and types of research, but this is suitable for a PhD study. That is in the state of Chhattisgarh. You can conduct a PhD study. Further, in third title, this is an appropriate title. Three informations you are getting about variable, population or area and types of research. And this title is a narrow title, and this is suitable for master or MPhil dissertation, because here what you have done, you have just narrowed it down further to a city or to a district, that is Bilaspur in the state of Chhattisgarh. And in the fourth title, again three information you are getting idea about variable, population and types of research, but here it is very specific. That is, you are just addressing St. Paul School, students of St. Paul School in the city of Bilaspur. So that's why this is suitable for a type of action research. But the third title, that is suitable for a master dissertation or MPhil or master or MPhil dissertation. So these are, means your title will determine that the study will be conducted at what area, the nature. Okay, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Or कुछ example of few more titles. Three titles I have taken here: an investigation into the study habits of high achieving secondary school students in the state of Odisha. Second title मैंने लिया है study of reaction of student teachers of IGNOU B.Ed program in Delhi region towards practical courses. Third title मैंने लिया a study of the effect of MOOCs. This is massive open online courses on the achievement of student teachers of B.Ed program of Indira Gandhi National Open University. आप देखिए, इन द फर्स्ट टाइटल हियर एन इन्वेस्टिगेशन इनटू द स्टडी हैबिट्स, यह वेरिएबल हो गया स्टडी हैबिट्स, हाई अचीविंग स्टूडेंट्स को हमने लिया, एरिया हो गया ओडिशा इन द स्टेट ऑफ ओडिशा, एंड एन इन्वेस्टिगेशन, इससे पता चलता है दिस इज ए डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टडी एंड वी आर गेटिंग थ्री इन्फॉर्मेशन. देन फर्दर ए स्टडी ऑफ रिएक्शन ऑफ स्टूडेंट टीचर्स ऑफ इग्नू B.Ed प्रोग्राम इन दिल्ली रीजन टुवर्ड्स प्रैक्टिकल कोर्सेस. ओके, तो इधर आप देखिए दिल्ली रीजन क्लियर हो गया. स्टडी ऑफ रिएक्शन ऑफ स्टूडेंट टीचर पॉपुलेशन के बारे में हमने दिया, इग्नू B.Ed प्रोग्राम के बारे में दिया. तीन इंफॉर्मेशन इसमें आ रहा है. दिस इज ऑल्सो एन अप्रोप्रिएट टाइटल, और ये सर्वे टाइप का रिसर्च है. बट थर्ड टाइटल जो है स्टडी ऑफ इफेक्ट ऑफ मूक्स ऑन द अचीवमेंट ऑफ स्टूडेंट टीचर्स ऑफ B.Ed प्रोग्राम ऑफ इंदिरा गांधी नेशनल ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी. सो फ्रेंड्स, B.Ed प्रोग्राम में कुछ कोर्सेस में हमने मूक डेवलप करना शुरू कर दिया, मासिव ओपन ऑनलाइन कोर्सेस. I have developed a MOOC on B.Ed program, that is understanding the disciplines and subjects. Okay, this is one of the course of B.Ed program, and this MOOC is now available in Swayam platform. Okay, January 2021 सेशन, मतलब अभी ये चल रहा है. तो जो स्टूडेंट MOOC कोर्स करते हैं, अंडरस्टैंडिंग डिसिप्लिन एंड सब्जेक्ट जो कोर्स किया, हम देखेंगे एक ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच में, ODL अप्रोच में स्टूडेंट पढ़ते हैं. ठीक है, ये कोर्स भी ODL अप्रोच में अवेलेबल है और ये कोर्स भी MOOCs में है. हम देखेंगे जो स्टूडेंट MOOCs पढ़ा, ऑनलाइन कोर्स पढ़ा, उनका अचीवमेंट क्या है, और जो ट्रेडिशनल कोर्स जो ODL सिस्टम में पढ़ा, उनका अचीवमेंट क्या है. दोनों का अचीवमेंट को हम कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. कंपेयर करके हम कह सकते हैं स्टडी, एक इफेक्ट स्टडी हम कर सकते हैं, और हम कह सकते हैं द स्टूडेंट्स, let as example students those have studied the course understanding disciplines and subjects by using the MOOCs, comparatively their achievement is better than the students those have studied in ODL or the traditional method. Okay, so इसीलिए this is an experimental study, because हम यहाँ इफेक्ट स्टडी करने जा रहे हैं. You have to conduct a type of experiment. So I'm not discussing detail, because we will take few more session on methodology of conducting educational research. So here तीन टाइटल. अब बार बार मुझे पूछते हैं, सर प्लीज एक्सप्लेन सम ऑफ द टाइटल्स ऑफ योर स्टडी. सो आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस टाइटल्स. आगे बढ़ते हैं. नेक्स्ट आवर सेकेंड concept of today's problem, today's discussion, that is operational definition of the terms. How can you define the terms, define the new words and terminologies in the research title operationally? Okay, so here you see every research involves certain key or technical terms which have some special connotation in the context of study, hence it needs to define such terms. Every title you'll find certain technical terms have been used, and certain new terms and new concepts that has been addressed. So there is the need to define those terms in operational ways, in operational terms. Okay, that how the terms will be used in your study. Such as an example, achievement यहाँ लिया गया है. Such as achievement has many meanings, like it may be achievement of students in class examination, or it may also be defined as scores of a standardized achievement test used in a research. Let आप रिसर्च करने जा रहे हैं, तो स्टूडेंट का अचीवमेंट एक वेरिएबल आप लिए हैं. अचीवमेंट मतलब आपको कुछ स्कोर मिलेगा, अचीवमेंट स्कोर मिलेगा. सो देयर आर टू वेज टू गेट द अचीवमेंट स्कोर. You can take the score of the students, achievement score of the students of the class where they are studying. Let the students are studying in class 10th, तो क्लास 10th का जो क्लास एग्जामिनेशन का स्कोर है उसे आप ले सकते हैं. दैट इज ऑल्सो एन अचीवमेंट स्कोर. और फर्दर द सेकेंड वे, you can also use a type of achievement test. Okay, standardized test. You have to prepare an achievement test and you have to administer that achievement test on the group of subject, on the group of students. Okay, तो आपके स्टडी में जो अचीवमेंट टर्म आप यूज किए हैं, whether you are going to take the score of the students from their classes, or you are going to administer, you are going to use a test that you have, that you as a researcher have developed for your research. तो ये जो ऑपरेशनल टर्म है, ऑपरेशनल पर्पस है, यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन हियर. ये सिंपल ऐसे नहीं डिफाइन करने में नहीं चलेगा कि अचीवमेंट का मतलब किसी टेस्ट का स्कोर है. वो टेस्ट क्या है, यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन इट. अदर टाइप्स ऑफ ऑपरेशनल डेफिनेशंस कभी कभी हम यूज करते हैं. एसएसए, सर्व शिक्षा अभियान. व्हाट डज इट मीन? राइट टू एक्ट, राइट टू एजुकेशन एक्ट, आरटीई एक्ट. ठीक है, ये कब इंप्लीमेंट हुआ? यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन अबाउट आरटीई. एकलव्य, एक प्रोजेक्ट, एकलव्य क्या है? यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन इट. सो द न्यू टर्म्स दैट यू हैव यूज्ड इन योर स्टडी, ऑपरेशनली, फंक्शनली आपके स्टडी में किस रूप में आप यूज कर रहे हैं, यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन इट. दैट इज वन ऑफ द कंपोनेंट. और कुछ एग्जाम्पल यहाँ लिए हैं. ऑपरेशनल डेफिनेशन ऑफ ए रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम. आई हैव टेकन a title, a study of reaction of student teachers of IGNOU B.Ed program in Delhi region towards practical courses. Okay, तो ऑपरेशनल डेफिनेशन में देखिए कि रिएक्शन टर्म मैंने यूज किया, उसे इट नीड्स ऑपरेशनल डेफिनेशन, ऑपरेशनली डिफाइन. देन स्टूडेंट टीचर मैंने यूज किया, स्टूडेंट टीचर. देन फर्दर B.Ed program, then practical courses of B.Ed program. These are the certain terms that I supposed to define. First, reaction. In the present study, reaction refers to the perception of student teachers towards practical of B.Ed. This is the reaction refers to the perception of the student teachers, how they perceive towards this practical course. Then student teacher, कौन है student teacher? In service teachers who are enrolled in B.Ed program of IGNOU. Okay, they are the in service teachers. सबको पता नहीं है who are the student teacher. I have to mention here, I have to operationally define here. Then accordingly, B.Ed program, the B.Ed program which is developed by Indira Gandhi National Open University, this is a 2-year program. So here इसे explain करना पड़ेगा regarding this program. Then practical courses of B.Ed program. वो कौन सा practical course है, कोर्स का टाइटल क्या है, कितने क्रेडिट का कोर्स है, कितने प्रैक्टिकल कोर्स है, और कितने प्रैक्टिकल कोर्स का आप ये स्टडी करना चाहते हैं. So friends, operational definition means operational you have to define the things, the new terms, the technical words that you have used in your title, which needs a proper definition. Proper definition here is not a dictionary definition. Okay, so this definition is a operational definition. Let us go forward. Another concept that today we have taken for our discussion, that is delimitation of the study. Okay, delimitation of the study means you have to make a delimitation, you have to bring a type of limitation of your study, because research title, research topic is always vast in nature, broad in nature. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to confine it, you have to bring certain limitations. आपको सीमांकन करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है, एक प्रॉपर फेंसिंग करना पड़ेगा, करके एक रिसर्चेबल फॉर्म में आपका स्टडी को लाना पड़ेगा. देन आफ्टर यू कैन conduct the study within the stipulated time period. So that's why delimitation of a study means to delimit the study into a researchable form. Okay, it may be done to delimit the following. First is area of the study. You can delimit the area from a large area to a specific area to a small area so that you can conduct your study. Then population and sample. If the population is huge, you can just reduce it, you can just bring a limitation your population. Okay, then further variable and variables, so you can also bring certain fans, you can also bring certain limitation about the variables. So तीन term मैंने कहा, area of the study, population, then variable. So in by using these three aspects you can delimit your study. Let us discuss with an example. एक टाइटल हमने लिया है डिलिमिटेशन ऑफ ए रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम में, एक टाइटल लिया एन इन्वेस्टिगेशन इनटू द स्टडी हैबिट्स ऑफ हाई अचीविंग सेकेंडरी स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स इन द स्टेट ऑफ ओडिशा. जो टाइटल हमने पहले डिस्कशन किए थे, आई हैव टेकन दिस सेम टाइटल. सो हियर in the title an investigation into the study habits of high achieving secondary school students in the state of Odisha, you see the delimitation of the study. The first delimitation is in terms of area of the study. Here you see I have mentioned the entire state of Odisha as the population, as the area, but it is not possible to conduct the study taking the entire area of Odisha. So that's why what I can do in terms of limitation, in terms of area of the study, that is few district of the state of Odisha. Okay, so I can take 2 or 3 districts or 10% of the district or 20% of the district and I can conduct a study. Okay, so further what I can do from eastern, western, northern and southern areas of the state is concerned, I can just select randomly one district. Taking 4 district I can conduct my study, and if I will take all the district of Odisha for my study, it may take lot of time. Okay, it may take huge time, so it may not possible for conducting the study. Then further, secondary school students. So in secondary school students, it may be class 9th, it may be class 10th. Further, I can delimit. Though in the title I have mentioned secondary students, but here it may be delimited to class 10th or class 9th students. That can be done. Then further, it may be delimited to rural, urban, government school, private school, boys, girls, etc., etc. So here you see, when you are going to study the study habits of high achieving students in the state of Odisha, that may cover rural area, that may cover urban area, that may cover the students who are studying in government school, that may cover the students who are studying in the private school, and boys, girls, and other other population areas also. So to whom you are going to take. Okay, so that's why here also you can bring certain limitation, that whether you will take both rural and urban, or only urban students, or only rural student, whether you will take both government and private school, or only government school, or only private school, whether you will take students of different board, just like state board of Odisha, CBSE and ICSE, or you can take only the state board, only the CBSE, that you can do. So in this way you can just bring certain limitation of your study, then delimited to percentage of population as a sample of the study. So here what you can do, a particular percentage of the population you can do, like 10% of the population, 20% of the population. Taking entire population, it is not possible to conduct this study. So friends, we discussed 3 important aspects today, that is research problem, how to select a research problem, what are the sources, what are the criteria for selecting a research problem, how to write a research title, what is a suitable research title, and further we discussed about the operational definition of the terms used, how operationally you can define the terms that you have used in your research title, and further how to bring delimitation of a research problem. So friends, you are preparing your research proposal now. These are three components of your proposal. So today we discuss these three components. I think it will help you for conceptualizing and for preparing your research proposal in a better way. In our next program, we'll discuss any other aspect of research proposal. For further queries, you can write to me niradhar@ignou.ac.in. You can also make me a phone call. My intercom is 2994. You can also visit my my Facebook page, my YouTube channel. You will find more than 200 video programs are there related to educational research and related to other areas of your studies. So that's why these video programs will help you a lot if you visit and if you watch. You can also go through my Twitter handle. You will also get information and many programs of education. So thank you very much. In our next program, we'll discuss on any other aspect of your dissertation work. Thank you.